Mike Owens here, joined today by the UFC's latest signing, Mitch Raposo, who makes his UFC debut Saturday night, UFC 302. Mitch, always a pleasure, my man. How are things with you today?
Good man, living the dream, bro. How about yourself?
I'm good. Have you missed my accent?
Absolutely, dude.
How are we feeling? This is obviously a big moment in your life, big moment in your career, a moment that I imagine you've wanted for a long time. So how are emotions on your first UFC fight week?
Yeah, man. It was even just getting the call last Tuesday. Tyson, I was working and I was having I was getting ready for the tennis race, obviously, but I still had 3.5 months to go, and I was just having one of those. It was a tough day. I was tired. I was just one of those days, and I said like a prayer, and yeah, I was just kind of just talking to God, and literally 2 minutes later, Tyson called me and he said that Mick reached out to him if I could make weight next week in for Jersey. And dude, just I mean, you were in Austin with me. I mean, I can eat, and I get pretty big sometimes, but God willing, he they got me on such a my weight was honestly better than most fight weeks. It was just one of those things. I was working a lot. I was training. I just wasn't really eating much. I wasn't really going out much, and kind of just being a homebody. And my weight just it really worked out for me.
I love that.
So
I love that.
no complaints.
How are we doing with the weight? Because as I mentioned, you do have an appetite. I saw that the first time we met, and the last time I think we spoke. How is weight?
Weight's freaking awesome, man. Like I had a way I had a schedule. Like what I'm saying, like within like striking distance, I'm saying I could make weight with tomorrow. So things, that's definitely a huge battle that a lot of guys stress on short notice, and that I've even stressed on short notice. And but for my it's by the grace of God, man. I got caught at a really good time.
I've seen a little bit of it, obviously, on your socials. I saw you getting the poster signings in. I saw your 302 bomber jacket, which was nice to see. So, how has the week been so far? And obviously, it's a stressful moment, but are you able to take in this and kind of enjoy it? Because it should be an enjoyable experience as much as a stressful one.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say stressful. I feel like I get to do this stuff. I feel like even just the things like I was on the contender series, I had to earn my way again. And 3 months away, it was at the end of August, and it was just I was dying to fight already. And then to get that, my weight's in a really good spot to get that to upgraded to a multi-fight contract, fighting on one of the biggest cards of the year, opening up the card. I mean, I there's nothing honestly stressful about it. I mean, make this weight, obviously, that's about it. But what I'm saying, I'm gonna get that done, and what I'm saying, and just live out my dream. Everything I've ever wanted, and you only get to make a UFC debut once, so I'm just really focused on the things that I can control and going out there and getting this win, and start my career off the right way.
It's interesting as well, Mitch, because obviously there's almost three tiers of the UFC now. We've got pay-per-views, we've got fight nights with the crowds, and we've got the Apex shows. And most people now, most UFC debutants make the debut in front of a couple of hundred people in the Apex. You're in a really, I suppose, special and in a way privileged position to be able to make your debut in a sold out arena, which not everybody gets to do. I mean, I can see your smile there. Does that add any extra emotion, anything extra to you? Because as I say, it's not everybody gets that an opportunity
Yeah,
just to.
not at all. It's pretty common that guys. I have teammates that have, that they're in the UFC for a couple fights, and all their fights are at the Apex. And it's they never really even experienced the crowd and the arena, and regardless if it's only a couple hundred people there because it's the first fight of the night or not, debuting on a UFC numbered card is definitely rare nowadays, and that's why, man, it's just another reason I thank God and put myself in this position and focus on the things I control and have fun with this whole thing. And yeah, I'm blessed, man. I got no complaints. I'm happy, I'm good, and I'm focused.
You found out midweek last week, Tuesday, Wednesday time. Is that right?
Yeah, Tuesday at around 10:30 a.m.
So what's
Last
been the process over the last week or so of getting you ready? Because obviously you are kind of at a disadvantage without having without the lack of camp. So what has been the process with you and your team of getting you in shape?
I feel like I'm always kind of in shape. I feel like I'm always training. I'm always I'm either running or I'm hitting the gym after work. I'm going to jujitsu. I'm always in the gym, but obviously there's difference in between you get a whole camp, right?
Mm.
But with this matchup, I really feel like I really believe even on short notice, my conditioning is going to be a reason why I win this fight. I feel like I can dig deeper, I can be tougher, and I feel like my style is gonna frustrate him, and he tends to slow down quite a bit because he's always looking for big shots. He's very classic kickboxer. and Brazilian kickboxer, and I definitely respect his game, and I got to be sharp and on my shit. But I definitely see. I feel like for a short notice debut, this is the type of matchup that I would prefer for sure.
Just need to
Go out
check
there and
because
have some fun, dude.
I need to ask the big question, Mitch. No biting this time.
No biting. I might fucking fake bite his ass, but we'll see.
What did you make of that debut against Severino? Because that is, I must admit, a very strange way for a fight to end.
Yeah, I mean, God bless this kid, man. Like he kind of was. I mean, he looked good in the first, like he rocked him with the elbow and stuff. But just like a lot of his other fights, he starts to like plot forward. He starts his punches come out more labored. He's loading up, and that kid was starting to take over that fight. And I don't know why that kid would bite him. I
Mm.
mean, like it doesn't even make any sense. Like maybe he thought he was gonna get away with it or something. I don't know. Yeah, I don't. It made no sense to me because honestly, I feel like the kid was gonna win that fight, and but at the end of the day, dude, you see what I'm saying? I'll go out there and take everything because he did get some hype from that. I don't know what. You get bit, whatever, and he got a nice bonus, dude. God bless the kid. But now I'm here to come and take everything.
Not to take you off topic, but where does that rank as the strangest moments in UFC history? I mean, we've had Paul Daly hit Josh Koscheck after the bell.
Yeah,
We've had people shit themselves in the cage. We've had the ice incident. Where does it rank as the strangest in your mind?
I feel like it's up there. I mean, I feel like it has to be. I mean, like it's pretty embarrassing for the other guy. I mean, that freaking kid. I mean, I don't understand what he was thinking. He was young, though. He was like 20 years old. So I mean, that's not. I mean, not an excuse. I mean, I was in the UFC. I was on the Ultimate Fighter pretty young, and I didn't bite nobody. So, but yeah, definitely at least top three. I mean, I would think. I mean, shitting yourself is pretty bad. I mean, fuck, that's tough. But yeah,
Um, how do you reflect on this moment, Mitch? I mean, obviously, as you mentioned there, you're on the Ultimate Fighter. I'm sure you gained a lot of experience from that. You obviously had your initial contender series fight against Hadley. How do you reflect on this moment and now finally make it to the UFC?
it literally feels like everything's happened for a reason. I feel like my time on the Ultimate Fighter prepped me for being on a bigger card. Obviously there's a little more media with it. There's a little more attention to it. The ceremonial weigh-ins. Like it's a little bigger. It's obviously a bigger feel, and I think the Ultimate Fighter prepared me for that. That contender fight, it's like I'm saying. I'm sure I've talked to you about it before in the past. It was something that I took on short notice, and definitely had some things going into that fight. But at the end of the day, didn't really feel like I was in a position to say no, and I really felt like I could. I really believed I could beat Jake even with everything that was going on, even with short notice. And it kind of just now feels like everything that's happened to me. And I was in a dark time, man. Like people don't like. I went through a very, very dark time in the
Mm.
last 3 years. Like times where I wasn't in the gym for a month or two at a time. When in reality that was my home for over a decade, and to get this call to, it literally feels like everything's just been sharpening me, building me just brick by brick, making me tougher. And where I feel now, like I'm really ready for the UFC. I'm really ready for the lights, for that level of talent. Because I mean, even just I've been on training trips to Vegas for months, and I've done so much preparation in the last 3 years without
Mm.
even being in the UFC, and sacrificing so much to get better and grow, and put myself in position for a call up. And I feel like along the process, I've gotten rounds with so many top guys,
Mm.
that are in the UFC at flyweight, bantamweight, it doesn't matter, and I feel like now it's just all come full circle to where I really belong here, and I'm still only 25. Like people, I'm definitely still on the younger side of the UFC, and man, God's good, man. That's all I really have to say.
I love that. Have you been in touch with the big man, Volk? Has he give you any advice for this moment? I know that you guys are pretty close on the show.
Yeah, no, he commented, and then we were talking a little bit on Instagram, and honestly, him, Frank Hickman, they all gave me same advice, man. I've deserved this for a long time, and I belong here for a long time, and I think, like I said, everything happens for a reason. I think maybe that before then I didn't really believe I belonged here, and now what I'm saying, I know what's up, and they just told me have fun with it. I've deserved to be here for a long time, so there's no extra. It doesn't have to be bigger than what it is. Obviously, it's my UFC debut. It's my dream come true. And but at the end of the day, at this level, especially, you have to focus on things you can control. And that's what I'm doing, just taking that kind of Patriots, Bill Belichick mindset to everything. And yeah, just focus on what I control and go out there and fucking shock the world.
You mentioned New England there. Speaking of the two boys who are big role models for you in Calvin and Rob, obviously we connected in Rob's fight camp as part of the Figueiredo fight. You were the man figuring Figueiredo for the week. What have those guys taught you in terms of, that role model aspect and kind of how to handle the bright lights? Because they've been there, done that, and got the t-shirt so many times.
Yeah, honestly, man, it's just watching them. It's very like similar to like kind of the mindset I'm trying to like keep it to this week is focus on things I can control, and like those two guys do that very well. Rob and Calvin, they're very professional, and like I said, they focus on things they can control. And it's not just about getting to the UFC to change my fucking Instagram profile picture and get it verified and get all this bullshit. Like none of that matters. It's about I'm here now, but now it's the real works begins. Now I'm 0-0. Like in real reality, it's another. Now it's getting to the top 15, and it's getting to the top 10, top 5, and obviously to my dreams to the belt. And just that's the kind of mindset that they have, and I've kind of just learned from being around them. But also I know, I'm saying, just like they know who they are when they get in that cage, I know who I am when I get in that cage. And that's why I'm just focused on the game plan and focused on what I need to do to get this win.
Talking about the card that you're on, I want to get some quick predictions from you. Islam Makhachev versus Dustin Poirier. How do you see the lightweight title playing out?
Fuck, man, like Dustin, I really believe that Dustin, not even to take Conor McGregor's prediction, but the way Islam's been KO'd before, and Dustin has a really good check hook, and I can see it. I feel like if Dustin fights very disciplined, I feel like Islam's going to give him the time to set up, what I'm saying, to feint, to get little reactions of that. Where Khabib was a very different guy. He's way more, he's just in your face. He's not going to let you fight your fight. Where I think Islam is going to try to strike with Dustin a little bit, and I feel like Dustin could clean him up. But obviously, I mean, my heart's with Dustin. And but obviously, it's tough, man. Islam's freaking up. It's crazy. I mean, I've had one of my lock screens I've had for a while is like a photo of Dustin leaving the Khabib press conference, and has like a quote from him, and just about going through dark times and where you could be, a couple years from now, before he was getting ready for the Charles fight. So to be here now, opening up a card that he's headlining in New Jersey, which, it's my Frankie Edgar's hometown, which is my favorite fighter. So just a quick little thing there that's just kind of crazy about Dustin being on the card. But yeah, I mean, I'm going to say Dustin because I'm pulling for Dustin.
Promise me something, Mitch. If you run into Poirier this week, you need to show him your lock screen, and you need to tell him that story.
Yeah, no, that's, I'm not that guy. I'm just not that guy. I never really ask for photos and stuff, but that's one guy. If I catch him and he's not busy, he's not. I saw him earlier today, but he was doing some stuff. He was doing the paperwork and all the shit that you need to do. So I'm not that guy. I'm not gonna bother. I don't like to bother anybody. But if I definitely run into him and he's low key and he's not busy, that's one guy I'll ask for a photo. I'm not really like that. I don't really like to do that too much. But man, that guy is one of my top 5 of all time, and just his story. He really earned it the hard way, and gives me chills, man. Because that's what it's being a young guy in the UFC now. This is where my career's starting, and he was a young guy coming in, so it's surreal.
Well, turning the conversation back to yourself, I have one final question. You can be as brief or as detailed as you like with this one, but I'd like you to give me a walkthrough of the perfect day on Saturday. I want to know, in a perfect world, when you envisage it, what happens when you wake up in the morning to when you go to sleep at night.
Saturday morning, wake up, have a nice breakfast, get a shakeout with my team that I've had since I was a young guy. I've been with Tyson since I was 18. Really just dial in, focused, head into, I want to have my family there, my dad, what I'm saying, my dad being there, and my brothers, it just means so much to me because they've supported me so much. And the fact that they're coming to my UFC debut, and I'm debuting on a card like this, and everything, just go there, get in that cage, enjoy, soak up the moment. Like a lot of people don't get to experience something like this in their lifetime, So I try to take a different mindset to it. And I get to do this. I don't have to do this. And I know I belong here. So go out there, focus on the game plan, listen to Tyson, hit, don't get hit, leave with a pocket full of cash, and celebrate with the family, man. That's really it, God willing, and that's it.
I love it, Mitch. Well, look, it was really great to see the news last week that you got this well-deserved call. It was really great as well to see all of these fighters who are currently in the UFC to give you your props and say congratulations. Aside from your team as well, some of the guys who I know you spent time with in Vegas, it was really good to see. Enjoy the rest of this week, because as I mentioned at the start, and as you said, it only comes around once a UFC debut, and I truly wish you the best of luck for Saturday night, my friend.
I appreciate it, brother. You're the man. Thank you, bro.